This is a regular design review board meeting of the city of Milton. I am Laura Weissong. I'm the chair of the design review board. This is a 7-member board appointed by the city of Milton, mayor and city council, created for the purpose of holding public hearings and making recommendations. The design review board reviews plans and makes recommendations to the community development director for the developments except single-family residential in the form-based code and overlay districts. In addition, the design review board approves or denies the demolition request and makes recommendations to the Board of Zoning Appeal on variances. So just wanted to clarify that for everyone. So officially, I'm calling to order the design review board for November 2nd, 2021. If everyone in chamber could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first like to introduce our staff and board members.
Shubha Jangam, Senior Planner.
Robin McDonald, Zoning Manager.
Reed Casey, Bethany Road.
Laura Weissong, Crooked Creek.
Jeff Dufresne, Summit Road.
Lee Collins, Westbrook Road.
Beniquis Palmer, Canterbury on the Lake.
Great, thank you. First item of business for this evening is we need to approve the agenda so first I'd like to ask, are there any modifications to the agenda?
No.
No. Okay, good. If somebody could make a motion to approve the agenda as is.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for November 2nd as is.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Our next order of business is to approve of our October 5th meeting minutes. Are there any modifications to the meeting minutes? Good. All right. So if somebody could make
I'll
a
make
motion.
a motion to approve the minutes of the October 5th, 2021 meeting.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We have no demolition items for this evening, nor do we have any courtesy reviews for the Board of Zoning Appeals. So our first item we do have 2 final reviews this evening. And our first review for the evening is, let me grab this. It is a car wash that is located, Milton Refresh Car Wash, located at Georgia 9 in Milton. If the applicant could please come forward, state your name and address, and tell us about the project.
Oh, this
Yep.
one. You get to be in the middle.
One day, maybe. My name is Tim Elksherry. I'm with Milton Refresh Car Wash.
And address?
12905 Highway 9 North, Milton, Georgia.
Great, thank you.
I believe we already submitted a package with the colors of the building, and we were asked to provide you with the color chips for the paint colors that we did use and the corresponding Pantone colors.
Okay.
So if you have seen the notes from my packet, I had included some notes for the, with some background. I had included the old picture of car wash, and they had painted that accent wall blue, but we recommended that they stick with the form-based codes color palette. So we asked them to pick one of those colors, and they picked gray. And they did paint it though, even though we told them, hold on. They didn't realize what they were doing. But here they are to get approval from you. If you do not want them to paint gray, they are okay changing the color. But today they are here to get your approval for the change of color for the car wash.
Yeah, color is tricky for Highway 9. It is, do we have a picture? Can I have a sample? Can I see what it looks?
Yeah, I've got samples here. Originally, when we painted the building,
So that's it?
That's the picture that's showing that right now they have painted it gray. Not everywhere they have painted
It's
gray.
just the
that's
accent.
Just the accent?
wall, Yes. And they can show you which color exactly.
yeah. You want to just pass
Yep,
that?
go ahead, pass on the color.
Okay.
None of the other building was painted. It just looks lighter and for some reason on the photo than it was when it was, it's the Cactus Car Wash. Just looks white.
Cactus Car Wash originally was a tan color. That was mandated to match the Walmart next door. Recently, the Walmart changed their colors to the colors that you see. We tried to kind of stay within the same grouping of colors that Walmart did. So the Walmart's new colors are the same light gray. Their dark gray is a little bit lighter than the dark gray that we chose. But we still match with, Walmart next door to us.
Okay. Pass that. Do we have a, kind of what's helpful here is I would like to see the other buildings. I mean, I drive by there a lot, but I probably haven't noticed the changes in color on the Walmart. I mean, because the objective is so that the colors kind of look consistent versus somebody throws some color out and we kind of go, okay, what's the deal? That really is what we're trying to achieve is not having something stick out like a sore thumb so that it looks like it belongs in that area. So the rest of the building is a white color.
No, the entire building is a light gray. The pictures are printed on a laser jet, so they're not really good representations of the color. That's why we included the Pantone numbers that we used.
Street View already has the new, must be a very recent.
No, this is old, actually.
So this is what we see. And so she's
I think it
asking
was
about this
CD.
right here.
Yeah,
That's actually gray.
Okay, gotcha,
That's the light gray.
gotcha.
Can you,
So what you're proposing is acceptable to form-based code, correct?
Yeah, we picked the colors based on conforming to the code. And we tried to match it as close as we could to the Walmart next door.
Okay.
Yeah, the only part that doesn't really match the Walmart next door is the darker gray that we chosen. And it's really no issue for us. If we were able to figure out exactly what shade the Walmart used next door, we'd have no problem changing the darker gray to a slightly lighter gray to match them.
can you, can you pull that up online?
have
Or
a
do you have
street
do you have a satellite view? Okay, yeah, let's look at that.
Cactus.
Walmart over.
The new colors or the old colors?
So that's hard to tell because there's everything street. Or this is color.
I don't remember Walmart coming in and out.
If you show me the picture, I could tell you if it's the new or old. I stare at that building all day, every day. Yeah, that's the old.
That's the old.
Yeah, that's the old, that's the original color that our building was that color. And recently, probably probably around April, Walmart repainted the entire building. So the light gray that we chose is almost an exact match for their light gray. If you drive by and take a look at it. The darker gray, we're definitely a little bit darker than the Walmart's dark gray, but that's what they did. Their new color scheme is light gray with, a couple of shade darker gray.
Yeah, I think, I feel like I'm somewhat handicapped here on this until I actually see that against that to see what the colors look like. I mean, colors usually, we kind of bring in a board, or we'll go and have them put a sample on the building so we can look at it, because usually it comes out very different from what you think you're putting on the building. We've had to do that a couple times this year. So I don't know. My inclination is I'd like to first, before I approve anything, to go see what they've got and what's on the new one. My only comment would be on here is that the enclosure, that door needs to be on the garbage, needs to be painted, whatever the building is. It's okay. It's the old color. So that would need to be done as well to match.
The dark gray or the light gray?
The building, to match the building color. Yeah, the dark gray is more of an accent, so I think just to match the.
Could there be an approval subject to a site visit by 2 members?
Yeah, that's what I would do, which we did with the other building and got the right color. So I would suggest if somebody wants to make a motion, we do it based on, 1 or 2 board members, and I'll volunteer to do that, to look at it, look at Walmart, look at that, and make sure that we've got consistent colors. And if you had another color that you think similar to what they had, do you have that in your chip set?
No, it's like you said, the colors actually look substantially different when you use them than when you buy it. So
It
we were
does.
shooting for an exact match to Walmart, but there's really no one over there that can tell you anything.
Yeah.
And so we kind of said, well, this looks like the darker shade. This looks like the lighter shade.
Yeah.
And, we put them up, but I can tell there's the lighter shade, there's very little difference, but on the darker shade, it's definitely at least 4 or 5 shades darker than the Walmart shade.
Well, if you have some samples that you think are similar to that, just so we have a backup, if we want to do a swatch on there, just to take a look. If it looks dramatically different, that's what I would suggest.
Sure, it's no problem.
So,
I'm happy enough to meet you over there.
okay, well, that'd be great. So why don't we make?
Yeah, so I'll make a motion to approve the paint colors that are existing on the building currently, subject to 2 board members having an on-site meeting and approving the colors.
I'll second.
Is that the right way?
Yeah.
I'll
It sounds
second.
good to me.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
And you can, my email, or do you?
I will coordinate with.
Okay,
Okay,
she's the coordinator.
all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Right. Okay. All right, our next item for final review is Milton Point at Broadwell Road. I guess there's some revisions from when this was originally approved by the Design Review Board. So if the applicant can come forward, state your name and address.
So I'm Mike Doyle with, JK Lockwood Construction, 5 South Main Street, Alpharetta. So I'm sure everybody knows about this project down the street that kind of sat for a few years. We were not involved in the beginning, had nothing to do with any of the other DRB approvals. I'm here on behalf of the owner, but we were given a set of plans and said to start building it. And it was permitted, I guess, about a year ago too. And then we came in and made a permit revision and that was approved. And only when we were trying to permit this second building at Milton did we find out that we needed to come back for DRB review on the first building. So unfortunately, if y'all driven by, we're well under construction already. And so what we've, and this was kind of a last minute thing, I put together pictures of what was originally, I guess, approved by the DRB, which was a building that's very similar to what we ended up with. They had already changed the plans and got it permitted last year, and really had to clean up. The problem with the original drawings were that while it looked good from the outside structurally, it couldn't really be built. They had, if you look at the depth of the floor, there are windows that were in the same depth as the floor design. And the second level, and like I said, this was all done before we were even involved with it. So what we did, you can see what was approved. Very similar. What we did is we cleaned up the roof lines and raised the roof lines so they didn't come through half of the second floor. And then we lowered the windows so they weren't in the floor structure of the elevation.
And some balconies too.
We added balconies.
Yeah, those are nice.
I mean, we met with Bob and he was real encouraged about having the balconies, and basically, you know, I look at what was approved as kind of like a, you know, concept car when you go through a design, and then it had to be engineered, and this is kind of what we ended up with.
Yeah.
You know, visually, I think it's much more appealing, and structurally and architecturally, it works.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty familiar with this project, and I'd really like the balconies a lot. And going from, I think it used to have a metal roof that was sort of one big roof to kind of
That
a
was too
broken.
much. And then if you drive around Milton, you'll see most of residents, for instance, do have the metal, have shingle roofs. So what we're proposing is a gray shingle roof, and then all the metal elements, the shed roof on the front and all the canopies over the entrances will still have a metal roof with brackets on
Yeah,
it.
some accents. I like that.
Like kind of what's been built around here recently.
So I guess my question is.
Now, we haven't really changed any colors. We're still going with all
Going
the
with the same
original
color.
colors that were approved.
Yeah, I was trying to go back and forth because I do remember this project when it came up for approval. And I haven't seen it lately, and I usually drive down by there quite frequently, but I haven't been by there to see what it looks like.
This is a big week. You'll see the elevator towers coming out of the
Okay,
ground, and
that
steel
was.
will be erected this week.
Okay.
Trusses next week.
So the other one had a little more industrial feel. Is that still?
Yeah, it's very similar. What we did is I don't know, it's kind of like they designed it and then they put it on the site and it didn't really work. They had a big entrance at the front. There's no parking there. And then they had all the parking's on the back. So we kind of centered an entrance on the back. We still have the element at the front, but we're going to redraw that and be ready to submit that next month for y'all to look at the second building.
Yeah,
But the two buildings complement each other. They'll have similar windows and similar colors. And the same thing, they'll have canopies over some of their windows and stuff, canopies over the entrances.
Okay, I see which building. Now I got it. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I was looking at the other building. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I remember this. Any questions from the board? This one? The only question, just from a more of just a design question, I noticed on, which view was that? I think it was maybe it was the right side elevation. Probably right side and left side. I noticed, particularly on the left side, on that upper, the kind of second floor area where you've got the deck off to the side. Yeah, there's 4 windows Three are the same size and one's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, he's talking about the one that's near the right elevation.
On the right elevation?
Yeah,
They've got.
Yeah, the window in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
That is smaller because it's, I'll have to look, I think it's in
that's probably.
a
kitchen.
bathroom.
Okay. And then there's also one on the left side elevation. You have three that look.
Three small and
And one big
I don't
one.
have the floor plans with me, but the shorter windows are because they're either in the kitchen or they're in bathrooms.
I don't know, just from the side for me, it just looks a little unbalanced. I mean,
Almost
I
like
get
you
it.
could make the long window on the left side elevation to be the same size as the shorter one instead of being longer, so it's all the same.
It just looks a little different. Yeah, to me, I
I
think.
mean, there is a
reason.
reason behind that, and it has to do with the interior layouts.
But it wouldn't hurt much to go from a long window to short window, right? On that left.
Oh, you're talking about
elevation.
making them all short on that left? Yeah.
Yeah, if there's a reason for it, then yeah, because I think if I looked on the original plans, didn't they have the small, more industrial looking?
They did have smaller windows. from what I remember.
Yeah, they had the smaller kind of industrial looking type window.
On the bottom level.
Yeah, okay, they had those on the bottom. They had the longer windows on the top and the kind of industrial windows on the bottom. Yeah, I think same on the right side elevation. I'd make those both the same size. I think on both of those, just either go with the long window or go with the short window. It just looks a little unbalanced when you're looking at the side elevation.
Okay, we can do that.
Like go back to the short window because that's more flexible with
Yeah,
your.
I mean,
Right.
I'm assuming we can't make the short ones longer, so we'll have to make the
Right.
long ones shorter.
So yeah, I would go with that short.
Yeah, so that's affects two windows, it looks like.
Yeah, and I think that'll look fine. But yeah, I like the balconies, definitely looks really good. I like the roofing, it's gonna look really nice. So I don't have any more questions if everyone's good with this design. Okay. All right, well, I think if we can make a motion just based on the contingency on the window modification, I think we're ready to approve. Sounds like it. Somebody would like to make a motion?
I move to approve the latest rendering of Milton Point at Broadwell, subject to
The window modification.
the window modification.
I second.
All
The
right.
two windows are gonna be changed to short. I don't know if you need to be a little more definitive on that, but.
Yeah, let's, left side, right side, short windows, go with all short windows on both sides.
Top floor, yeah.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Looks like you're approved.
Okay, thank you very much.
Looks good.
Thank you.
You actually have
We'll
something
be
on the
ready.
next building right now, looks like.
It sounds like on our new business, share 2022 DRB calendar for review.
No, this from the old.
That's from the.
Same.
Oh, okay, so sorry.
That was when we originally approved it.
I got it.
Yeah, I tried to
I see.
include the originals, as you said,
Understood.
That
tag.
is very helpful.
Yeah,
Because I went back and looked at that and I was like, yes, I remember this.
sorry, everything was
I
there.
remember what that building looked like. Yeah, so I could compare, just to understand what they were changing. Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you for doing that. So new business is to share the 2022 DRB calendar for review.
Yeah, it's just for a review. We will vote on it next month.
Next
but,
month.
Just let me know if you have any issues or, I think there is one meeting in April that we have to move because of the April spring break.
Spring break.
Uh,
Yeah, we usually always
Other
move
than that, I
that.
don't see much of an issue.
I have a question. I think I'm rolling off, but can you just confirm who's staying and who's going?
We didn't get.
Well,
I mean, this looks fine to me.
I mean, even if you're appointing council member, let's say if somebody else, they're leaving and then there's a new council member, they could have a choice if you want to be, you could, or
Okay, so,
be reappointed based upon the new council member.
Mayor Lockwood was, he appointed me, so I'll go to Peyton, is that correct?
Right, so,
Okay.
yeah, so that's their prerogative, what they do. I know, working on the planning commission over the years, that many times the new council person will just keep the person. They don't have anybody in mind, and if that person is willing to serve for another term. So there's no term limits like there is on council.
Okay.
So,
No, I just saw this, I wanted,
No, but thank you for reminding us.
I think they get February is when they do it's either January or February for selection.
Yeah.
Is it
so,
January?
I mean, they're gonna, hopefully, by this week, we'll know who the new council people are, and then
Right.
they'll be sworn in the first meeting in January. And at that point, so it's probably gonna take a month or two before but you're correct, you stop coming. Let's say if they didn't make a decision until February.
okay.
You know what I mean?
You have to get security at the door again. I mean, I'm just kidding.
And I will be rolling off.
They are.
No, I will not.
I mean, obviously, if you.
No, actually, I will not, because Joe Longoria, so Jan Jacobus, he's not opposed. I've already had a discussion with him. I've been on the DRB for a very, very long time.
And that's what my point is. I mean, obviously, if you don't wish to continue, then they would respect that.
It's time for others to take over. Charlie. And whoever you guys pick for vice
So are we the
chairman.
only two? Well, Charlie's rolling over too, I think.
Charlie was Peyton.
Was with me. If it-
Right.
Charlie is Peyton.
Yeah, but it's a 3-year term, right?
Sorry, what?
The board, we both were sworn in on the same day, and I just assumed it would expire on the same day. Is that a correct assumption?
For the mayor, it could have been you were replacing somebody else and it just happened to be that way. I'm not sure. I don't have the list.
I think you were replacing somebody.
I was replacing a vacancy.
Right. So that might have been, they might be
Right, it
different
wasn't even with
timeframes.
the election.
Okay,
Yeah, so I actually, my first time around, I was replacing somebody. So I had, I think,
good.
2.5, 3 years.
Gotcha.
And then 4 years with Joe on his second term, Joe Longoria. So
Okay.
what's that, 8 years?
Long years.
Long.
Long years.
Okay, well, thanks for this.
All
So
right.
it's really up to you and whatever.
Yeah.
The council person.
I hate to crash a party.
Is there any old business for this evening? If not, we're adjourned. This is
a
like the
record breaker.
this
That's
is
a
the
record, I
quickest meeting I think we've had. I think
If you don't
since
say
I've been
anything,
on
you
this
just kind
board.
of slide under the radar like that guy in Office Space. They eventually put him in the basement.
Yeah, yeah.
What's his name?
Milton,
Yeah, Milton. That's appropriate.
yeah.
Oh.